Hello there, class, and welcome to week 6. You made it through the midterm, and everyone is doing incredible. I wanted to let you know that 100% of the class is passing. So, big round of applause there. That makes me feel great that we have people that are doing well. One thing I did want to let you know, though, is people did not take advantage of the bonus points. If you read your emails, there was a way to pick up 5 bonus points now. 5 bonus points does not sound like a lot, but when you figure if you had an 85, those 5 bonus points could have moved you into a 90, which would have brought you from a B to an A or a C to a B, etc., etc. So read those emails because it's too late to pick up those bonus points now. But had you read that, answering 3 simple questions in regards to the actual taking of the test, and you would have picked up 5 bonus points. 3 students picked those up in the class. The rest did not. So keep in mind, read those emails that come out. They offer good information. It could save you times, could save you effort, and it could have wonderful things in there like bonus points. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started here. We got some things to go over, and here we go. And so one of the things I want to point out is right here at the top center. And so I'm going to view this way you see it so that it shows it exactly how you see it coming into the course. And so things that I added here is the announcements because if you're not looking in your messages, etc., you're probably not seeing these announcements. So they also do show up here. This overview, these appear also in your modules there. So it tells you everything that's coming in here, and that is what the chapters are about and what those readings are. Now you'll see this here, recommended activities. The reason why these are recommended, they're not graded, but what they do is they give you additional information and advice. So take a look at those, and then you'll notice under the deliverables, this is what you have to do. The discussion board, the assignment, and the quiz. So, and then what is expected? Attend or review the live learning, complete the readings and activities, participate in those discussions, and try to add these things into your things, okay? And then I put a little bit of information in here. It's not about working uh, harder, but smarter. Okay. So the information we're going to talk about today will help you out on those quizzes, exams, things like that. So if you pay attention to what's going on, these things help you. So that's why this course is so important, is because these are things that help you as you go through. That's why it's called college success. It's information that is going to help you out. Okay. Things that are going to be here for you as you go through. So those are the things that are there for you. All right. So I want to make sure that you're aware that these things, as we're going through them, that's what they're there for. They're to benefit you. Okay. And the other one that's still out here is read those emails, okay, and those class recordings. The content that's in these emails, they're considered class content. So you're responsible for the information in those emails if you read them or not, okay? So saying that, oh, I didn't see that, I didn't get that, and blah, 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 that information's there and it's in the system. So it's required that you read these. This is course content. All right. Now, the other thing that I've added to the screen here, and this replaced that letting you know that extensions were not available for the midterm, is this. The first 5 weeks are closed and locked. You cannot get extensions on anything prior to that. The reason week 5 closed and locked already is because discussions are never available for having the ability to get into those. And week 5 was that midterm. Okay, and midterms are not eligible for being able to be extended. So the first 5 weeks are closed and locked as far as the assignments are concerned. And there was a chapter to do in week 5, so that's why they're closed and locked. So this is up here for you to see and no questions asked. Please do not ask for extension on those because the answer will be no. You have plenty of time, plenty of notice to take care of these items. Week 4, you had extensions available through week 5 if you requested them. And so you had the original week and that extra week in there. All right. So we're going to move on into the modules. We are here in week 6. We have less weeks left than we did than what we've already completed. So in week 6, we have 2 chapters here, Improve Your Memory Skills and Excel at Taking Tests. These are things that we're going to talk about today. And that Excel at Taking Tests, that's going to be really beneficial because it's going to give you hints on ways to improve that. And that improving the memory is also beneficial, okay? So that's what those are about. Our discussion this week, very interesting discussion. You guys are doing great on the discussion. The only thing with those discussions, make sure you're doing those 3 posts, okay? If you're only doing 1 post, you throw away 80 points. Do 2 posts, you're throwing away 60 points. Okay, 20 points for the first post, 20 for the second, 60 whopping points for that last post. That's to encourage you to do all 3. Okay, 3 posts. When you go in to make that first post, I strongly recommend you do all 3 if somebody else has posted. Don't go in and just do 1. You're in there already. Okay, that's saving you time and effort. If you don't have much time, this is the way to save it because if you forget, you're going to be penalized points. All right? Okay. So, what study or memory strategy has worked best for you in the past? What has helped you out on test or improve your memory? How can you improve your approach to study and test taking? Because if you can do that, it's going to reduce your stress and it's going to increase your performance. It's going to increase your ability to do well, all at the same time reducing that stress. Because if you're doing better, your stress goes down. And that's what it's all about. You shouldn't be stressing because, oh my God, it's a test, it's a test. Because as soon as that stress level goes up, you're automatically going to have a harder time on that test. So those are going to be our topics today. All right. So we're going to jump right into that. And so here we go with that. Let me go ahead and start that presentation. And here we go. Let me swap my displays here. Get my handy dandy little pen out here. And today we're going to go with purple. All right, we're going to draw some hair up there. And some ears. There we go, and away we go. Okay, so there's a 5-step memory process. And you may not even realize that. So the first one here, this intention. So we need to establish an interest and a mental commitment to register and remember the target information. You have to set your mind to it. I need to remember this. I need to work on this. This is something that I need to do. Okay, so you need to set about this. This is when you're learning a new process, whether it be at school, work, etc. I need to get ready because I need to know this. Attention, right here. Boom. This needs to garnish my attention here. Okay. I need to focus. I need to pay attention and I need to get rid of noise That's registering in my head. That's what this cognitive is. It's a registering. I'm paying attention to that noise and environmental distractions. So this is why you set up a place to learn, okay? A place to learn. Don't just plop down anywhere that you have at home, blah, blah, blah. Wherever you've decided works for you for learning. You set that up, okay? You decide this is where I am going to learn. This is my learning spot. Okay, you decide that. And once you decide that, that's where you need to set yourself, and this is your learning spot. Okay, if it's a desk, if it's a table, it's chair. Some people even like to learn on the floor. Wherever it is you're comfortable, that's where you need to be. Okay, now association, what would that be? So you need to figure out a way how to associate this with other things that you already know. And by linking these things together, this is what I know, this is new information coming in. So this is my old, this is my new, and I connect these two. By connecting these two things together, it helps you out. Okay, I understood this. Now you're telling me this. I see how they relate. By creating these memory chains, you're going to learn more. Okay, you're going to be able to, I can relate this to this, even if it's different jobs. Okay, oops, let me rewrite that. Even if it is different jobs. Okay, we did something similar to this in this job. I see how it relates to that job. So you can relate things to each other. Now, retention. How do you remember things now that you're starting to put it all together? So repeat it, repetitive, actively try to retrieve it. Okay. Give yourself little tests, etc. And do this intervals. Don't go for the long hours. Okay. Don't go for long hours. Do it in short. May have to change the tip on my stylus. Go for short times, okay? We used to study for hours on end, and that was the worst thing, okay? Now, we have different types of memory, short term and long term, okay? Short term, the way we think about things now, limited bandwidth, okay? Typically, a few distinct chunks of information for up to 30 seconds. That's how quick it is. That's short-term memory. Broom, broom, in and out. Okay. We only process it short bits of time. Think of it as multitasking. We talk about multitasking all the time. You're not really doing multiple things at the same time. You're doing on, off, on, off, on, off. Okay. So it's on, off, because that's how you multitask. You do this, then this, then this, then this, then this. You're not doing them at the same time. You're actually doing them on and off really quick. That's your short-term memory. Okay, it's very quick. Long-term is like a big warehouse of information. We don't know how much it can actually store. We've never been able to measure it. Okay, and that's how we get to it. Okay, so it's kind of like we got little storage cells here. And how do we get to it? Well, we connect this one to this one, this one to this one, and this one to this. We link the data, okay? And that's how we get to the pieces we need. And when we forget, the link's been broken somehow, and we got to relink it, okay? So now the brain is all divided up, okay? So right here, this is your breathing and heart rate. This is your balance and coordination. This is where all your vision comes from. This is your touch and your body position, your coordination kind of, as far as in where you're actually uh, able to sit. Now this part here, this gets a lot of damage sometimes. That's where all your language, your hearing, and your memory starts to come from. Okay. And this is where all your decisions and your involuntary movements come from. The things that you don't think about, your blinking and stuff like that. So that's where your brain comes from, okay, and how it works on that. So how can we help control it? Well, when you get your information, we take notes, transcribe. This is your notes, okay? Now, the other thing that you can do is master a high level outline, okay? So write the major points and then put down the details, okay? Condense the information. You might have 5 pages of notes, but do you need 5 pages? Don't ever get rid of those 5 pages, but shrink it down, okay, into key phrases and put them on study cards. Now, some of you might be thinking, I don't have time to do all this. Do you have time for your future? This is your future. This will get you where you need to be. Do this once, and it's a lifetime, okay? Change your life. You want change, you have to be the change. It's a little bit longer one time, okay? I was talking about your study spaces, okay? Eliminate ambient tech pings, okay? If your phone is going ding, 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 turn those sounds and that off when you're trying to memorize and learn and stuff like that. And then this, set rest intervals, okay? Now, I just told you to turn pings off, but one thing you should do is set timers for study. 15 minutes, 5-minute break. 15 minutes, 5-minute break. 15 minutes, 5-minute break. Okay? You will learn more and retain it. Now, we've all seen TV shows where people learn by singing the words and this and that. Yes, it works. Rhymes and rhythm right there. It works. Okay? Learn how to do it. It's a great way to do it. Acronyms. Okay? An acronym. Like NASA is an acronym, National Aeronautics Space Administration. That's what it stands for. So if you can think of things that will help you spell things out, that's a way. Chunking. Okay? Chunking means take lots of characters and numbers and put them together in groups. So take your data and group it into chunks and learn that. Now this is a fun one. Low key. Place key terms in your home or room. And then what happens is as you're learning, you learn that piece of data is stored next to the lamp or the chair or this or that. You go to look, take a test, etc. And you remember, oh, that was by the lamp. That was this. That it works. It sounds really strange, this one does, but it will help you remember because you remember the location, then you can visualize what was on it. Okay. Now, we've talked about habit loops multiple times, and they're always the same thing. Trigger, routine, reward. Okay. The trigger, a new meeting, a new uh, thing that you're being taught at work, or a new lecture like this. The routine, taking the notes, pronouncing the name, writing the details. The reward will be instant recall success, or you're going to learn to trust the coworker, or you're going to learn the new skill. This is how things happen. Okay. That's how you gain a habit loop for learning. Okay. Now, put it together before testing, during the test, everything. So now you've got the information memorized, but you still have to use it. Okay. You begin day one for test. That studying, that learning all the way through. Don't try to cram for a test because then you don't truly know the information. There's a difference between memorizing for a test and knowing the information. You need to know the information, and it takes the stress out. Understand your course goals, etc., requirements, and what's really needed for this course, okay? Look at your topics, your equations, your everything, and put it in study blocks. Okay, don't just sit there and repeat everything for that test. You're not going to learn it. Okay. If you have peers that you can work with, do utilize them. Otherwise, use flashcards. There's digital flashcards that you can put your information in and it'll ask you questions. Look through your ebook. There's things that will quiz you. Okay. Go through the chapter. The chapter will work with you. Okay. Mock testing. Try to quiz yourself. Okay. Quizlet and other programs out there will help you out. So now's the day of the test. Listen to what you need to do. Understand how to do it. Okay. Before you start the test, anything that you think you need, formulas, key numbers, lists, dates, write it down on the side of that test if you're doing a physical test or a piece of paper, etc., or have it available if it's an open book. Okay. Read the test before you begin. That way you know how you're going to be able to do it. Now, online tests don't really let you do it, but if you're given a pre-test or study guide, check that out first. I provided both of those for the midterm. Okay. You'll notice that as you were doing the chapters, it asks you for your confidence level. If you're putting low confidence on every answer, check out the material again. Okay. And if you have a test where you're allowed to review back, go back and check again. All right. Now, after the test, check to see what you missed, why you missed it, how you missed it. Okay. And if you had time issues, why? Did you wait until the last minute? Did you wait until the last day? You had unlimited amount of times you could take this test. Did you have to keep doing it again, or did you not have the option to take it again? Okay. If you have questions, talk to me. Feedback with the instructors. Okay. It's also good to check with peers, see what they thought beforehand. Now, when you're reading, that's great. Okay. But self-testing right there, you're performance will jump up to 80% doing self-testing. So it's worth it to find time. Active recall efficacy goes to 80% doing self-testing. So you can read over and over, but you're gonna, number one, start tuning yourself out, okay? So it's going to do stronger synaptic pathways. You're gonna understand where your blind spots are. And it's gonna get rid of that pressure, which is great. So how do you do an exam? Well, there's a strategy for every type of question. And so you'll see some people do much better on exams than others because they figured out the key. Okay. When it's a true false, it's always true unless something makes it fail. So your answer's true unless there's something there that makes it false. Look for things that say always or never. Those are giveaways. But unless there is something that makes it explicitly false, the answer's true. Okay? Multiple choice. Look for things that make a particular answer not the correct one. Don't look for the correct one. Eliminate the others. And the one you're left with is the correct choice. So get rid of the ones that do not work. And if you get down to two, find the one that's distracting. So you're always looking for the wrong ones and getting rid of them. Okay. Now, when you're doing matching, match the ones you're positive with and then go over the remaining ones very carefully, looking for the closest ones first. Okay. Leaving the hardest ones to last because they will have the least amount left to choose from. Okay. Fill in the blank. Those are a little more difficult. So what you're doing is you're looking for words that mean the same thing so that when you answer them, you're sure to make sure you include those in your answer. Okay. And look, because a lot of times in that question, parts of the answer are already supplied for you. Reread the question and look and see if part of the answer's in there. So it at least gives you someplace where you can reference. All these things here will help boost that score by a long shot. Okay. So when you're doing essay and online tests, it's a little bit different. Make sure you understand how the course is. Okay. So be able to write a little bit. If you know your subject, you have a good idea of what's going on and you can put things in your own words. All right. Look for keywords. Every topic has a keyword and those will be in the questions. Make sure you include them in your answers. Make sure you know what the last day you can take that test is, what the last time is. Be careful with question skipping. Several people could have done much better if they would have attempted the essay or fill in the blank question. By not putting anything down, that was a 0. If you would have put something down, you would have had partial points. Make sure you have everything you need for an online class or test. By not doing it earlier in the week, what you run into is you may not be able to reach myself or any other instructor on the weekend. Your instructors work Monday through Friday. It's not necessarily a good idea to wait to the weekend because they may not see your request for help. Now, this is a big one here. The anxiety. Don't convince yourself you're going to do bad. Boost yourself. I'm going to do good. Reverse that negativity, make it a more positive experience, and it will give you a better shot at doing well. If you go into it thinking that you're beaten, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Okay, breathe. Breathe deeper breaths. It will help you relax and sit upright. Slouching is automatically going to make you do worse. There's a reason why our parents used to tell us sit up, sit up, sit up. By sitting upright, you're elevating yourself, you're elevating your attitude. Okay. Sleep. Don't try to take tests when you're extremely tired. If something's going to happen, contact your instructor, let them know what's going on. And also make sure you're getting protein. It's weird, but protein helps your exam. If you're hungry, you're not concentrating. Okay. So try. And whatever you do, don't cheat. Okay. Do you. And if you need assistance, please reach out because cheating destroys your own performance and confidence because you're going to get imposter syndrome and you're going to start not believing in yourself and you're going to systematically do worse and worse. So please don't do that. And you could be booted out of your own program. So please don't. So if you do these, you can unlock your ultimate potential. You will start to do better if you're practicing these things. So please um, try putting some of these into practice, and I think you're going to see some improvements that you're going to like. All right? So let's try those things. See how they work for you. Give me some feedback. See what they're like. Um, don't wait until the very last day to do your assignments. Don't forget Wednesdays every week. That's when your first post in the discussion is due. But while you're in there, do all three. If everybody in the class jumps in there, you all will be able to get all three done. And that's a way to secure that 100 points in that discussion. And if you need anything, please reach out to me. One thing I do want to show, let me jump back in here, is right here in the modules. Go all the way up to the top, course resources, right here. If you look in here, you can do meet your instructor. And right here is my email address right there. You can click on that. You can also text me at this number here. It's text only, pictures do not transmit. You can do that text number 24/7 or the email. If it's an odd hour, those texts will hold until I am able to respond back. And I will check the time to make sure I'm not texting you back at an odd hour. All right. So that's it for week 6, and I will see you online. Thank you.